Cork in the North, my people, my students, my little Roman emperors. Welcome to another episode of Cork in the North. Thanks to everybody that's been here with us on this long, arduous journey of podcasting in this dominated environment. I mean, if you're a comedian and you don't have a podcast, are you a comedian? Anyway, listen, everybody, thanks for joining us. A couple of things before we crack on with this episode. I want to say a big thank you to our sponsors. We are fans of them and they are fans of us, ladies and gentlemen. It's a Doran pub on the Lisburn Road. A fantastic place if you want to go in and get a drink, get a cup of coffee. You want to stare at some locals, right? You want to go and hire a room out. We've said it before. You want to go and have a christening there. You want to get married for this. It's probably your place where you go for your fourth marriage. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to, there's not a lot of confidence then in you if you're getting married for the fourth time. You know what I mean? If you want to go and watch sports, it's the kind of place where you want to go. If you want peanuts, it's there. The toilets are working. They get checked regularly on the hour. You can see the signature on the wall, on the sheet. If you want to go there and watch comedy, you can go there. Most importantly, if you want food, you get 25% off your food if you use the code CORK25 Wednesday to Saturday, not Sunday. Oh, no.
Don't be coming on Sunday.
Don't be coming on Sunday. Sunday's the day for the people who've got proper money, right? Cork 25, Wednesday to Saturday. Take her out, mate. Take her out. Look at her and say, babe, I'm taking you out tonight. Because where are we going? We're going to Doran. Why are we doing that? Andrew Ryan's giving us 25% off. All because I watch/listen to his podcast. I can't do more for you.
He's tried.
I've tried. And if you're not taking advantage of Cork 25, you can't take advantage of anything or anyone. Don't ever take advantage of anyone. Because that's illegal. But the Doran isn't illegal. Going to the Doran is perfectly legal. It's open Wednesday to Sunday. It's closed Monday, Tuesday, White. They're cleaning it. They're getting it ready for you. Okay, so get down there on the Lisburn Road. It's a great bar, great comedy. We're doing a live podcast there soon. We're also doing a new material night for the tour shows, which is already sold out. You're late, pal. You missed it. Those people are turning up now. They're going to get a bit of food, a bit of drink, a bit of comedy. Sold out. Appreciate you. Doran, links are there. Links are all there. All right. Secondly, I'm on tour. Of course I'm on tour. I'm on tour in September. Tickets are on sale. Instagram and my website, andrewryancomedy.com. Some places have sold out by now, hopefully. And if they haven't, that's your fault. I built it and you didn't come. All right. So please go on to andrewryancomedy.com to buy the tickets. My hair's looking good. It's thick, isn't it? Yeah. Isn't it, Sean? Because I've changed the hair gel.
Right.
I've changed. I used to lose my hair from stress because I'm not a stressy man. I'm very calm. But I've been calmer now since I've started doing the going to the gym.
That's good.
Isn't that right, Sean? So please come to my tour. It's going to be a great show. I haven't written it yet. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. Half of it's written, very poignant. There'll be shouting in it and it'll be good crack, right? andrewryancomedy.com. You all know me. I all know you. Thanks everybody for supporting the podcast. Remember the Patreon, £3 a month, extra episodes, discounts and tickets to live shows, blah, 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 blah. Please sign up. It helps support the podcast. Okay. All the money that we get from the Patreon goes straight into this podcast. Okay. Goes straight into this podcast. And that podcast money then goes from this podcast into my bank account, which then goes back in. I'm covering the overdraft. I'm robbing Peter to pay Paul. Okay. I think I've taken some form of drug and I'm a bit off balance today, but I've had a stressful day today. But joining me in the studio today is one of my favourite comedians. She's a comedian that has been tremendously successful over the last few years, selling out Vicar Street, TV shows, The Late Late Show, two appearances. I've not had one. 2 appearances. She's coming up to Belfast to do a show at the Limelight. She's very funny online. I'm a big fan of her, not just on stage, but off stage. When you meet someone off stage, you go, they're decent as well. She's decent. She's a decent person. She's from Dublin. She's coming to Cork with the North Studios. She's crossed over the border. She's here. She's present. It's Emma Doran.
How are you? I thoroughly enjoyed watching you. You flip between, give me your fucking money. I love you. Thanks so much for the support. I just loved it, watching the whole thing. It was brilliant.
Hey, we don't do things correctly here. You know what I mean? The people who
that is the vibe. It should be.
Our numbers are increasing slowly, and the people who are following us get the little bit of vibe that we have.
Okay,
we're a little bit off kilter.
Yes.
And, you know, I don't mind messing around here and there and making a fool of myself because I have no ego when it comes to this kind of stuff. And I appreciate your feedback. It's been noted. And we will... Isn't that right, Sean? Producer Sean is an integral part of the show. He's got a baby due in 4 weeks now.
I do.
So he's only 25.
First baby, yeah.
4 weeks.
Yeah, 4 weeks. Emma's got 3.
I've
She's got 3 kids.
My youngest is 9. So when I hear baby due in 4 weeks, it's like a ping in my brain to remind me to take my pill.
There you go.
I'm delighted for you, but I go ping,
Pill. That's if you're getting it. I don't know. I wouldn't ask her that anyway. It's none of my business. Why would I care? Emma Doran, Cork in the North. Yes. Thank you so much for being here on the podcast. It's great to see you. You're up in Belfast doing some shows. You're doing the Empire. You're doing Lavery's, and you're back again. Doing your solo show in Limelight. It's great to have you on the podcast again. It's great to be in the new studio. Do you like it?
The new studio, it's fantastic. I'm trying to think when I was on with you last, but I know it was a very, very hot day.
Yeah. And you were doing my little gig out in Glandyby.
Yes.
You were doing the second show, which has grown now to nearly 200 people and sells out within the hour. You did it at the very start. And you were
the grassroots. I kind of kicked it off.
And I was the key thing was to get you at the grassroots. Now we'll get you back. Like you're welcome back anytime, but you're very busy on tour. Yes. Welcome to the North. You're becoming, as I would say, and I think you may agree or disagree with me, the last time I saw you up here, you were at Clandeboy. You said sometimes you were a bit nervous about coming up here, how you felt your act has come across. But I think you've kind of nailed it.
I'm happy now. You see, I think when I spent so long, like pretty much just doing comedy in Dublin because of having a young family, and I didn't really leave Dublin that much. Right. So it's only in the last couple of years I've started to travel more for stand-up. So like I've been doing gigs, I've been doing gigs in London. I did Leicester Comedy Festival. Yeah. I've been up here more. And I've just kind of realised, it's just comedy. But if there's something to overthink, I will.
Yeah, you're a good overthinker.
As a comedian, the way you have... Yeah, the confidence, it doesn't take much for you to think, I'm a stupid fat bitch and everyone hates me.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But the thing about it is, now that your kids have grown up, you have a bit more freedom.
Yeah,
so basically, when the kids were like maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, you're looking at them going, the slower you grow, the less fun mommy's having. Right? Now that the kids are grown up, you've abandoned them.
I have.
And it feels good, doesn't it?
It feels good. It feels right.
It's mommy time now.
When you know, you know. But the youngest is 9.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Sure, they can get their own flat now. Well, if there's walking in them and talking in them, there's work in them.
They can climb presses easily.
And you have a fella at home that's well able.
Well able. I don't want to be insulting him and making out that he's not able. He's a painter decorator.
So he's well able.
He has very regular hours.
Is he 9 to 5, is it?
Ooh, kind of 4 some days. Some days they go for pints after work. Like they have the whole thing locked down. Brothers of the Brush, as he calls them.
They're always popping out to pick up something. I'm like, they never come prepared for the work. I've got to pop, like an electrician. When an electrician comes through, they always leave.
Yeah.
They turn up, they have a look, right, I'll be back in a minute. They're going for breakfast and they're charging you. Because they go, this job's going to take me 3 hours. I'm going to drag the arse out of it and get paid the full day's labour. I'm going to go and get bloody lunch.
This is an insight. Now, what kind of person are you like to work in your house as a tradesperson?
I let them at it.
You let them at it, okay.
Let them, I trust them. But the thing is, when I moved to Belfast, I got myself a tradie on every aspect I could from recommendations. So I have a mate of mine, I found, recommended a painter.
Yes.
He's done loads of work for me. I've got the guy who sold me the house. His cousin was a spark. That spark recommended his brother-in-law who was a plumber. Then I got a guy to do the garden who my friend used.
Yes.
So I now have everyone in the phone and I trust them all and they know they get regular work off me if I need stuff done. Like I have a regular gardener guy that comes and helps me do a bit.
Oh, laddie, far from gardeners, you were rare. What?
I got quoted $7,000 for my garden and I decided I wasn't paying $7,000. So I got a guy to come and do it in stages. So we rejigged it and we got it down to about $2,500, but he could only do certain stages at certain times.
Oh yeah, you're on his.
He's coming every couple of months to top this up and
doing
change
a couple
this.
Of weekends.
Yeah, every stuff like that. He has another full-time job, you see.
Gotcha.
So when I say regular, he's doing the job over 8 months, but he's coming every couple of weeks to do a bit here, weather permitting, all this kind of stuff, right? So
and this is all above board on the books. Yeah,
Emma
it sounds
Doran,
like that.
to come on to Cork in the North podcast and accuse me.
No, I just wondered in case there was
paying a professional tradesperson. Without an invoice.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify, just because there might be some people that might listen.
You have never been so right. The audacity to even question it. You should have known it was cash. The fact that you thought this was going to be above board.
So he's doing it on his own timetable. So he's after a night out, he's getting a
cup of
taxi to
tea
your
and 2 fig
place.
rolls. He's getting a cup of tea, 2 fig rolls, and access to the toilet after peak hours.
He's coming at 3 o'clock.
He's going at 3
in the
o'clock.
morning
He's
on a
me
Saturday.
mate. He's just a mate. Why would I pay him?
Yeah,
None of these guys get paid.
Yeah,
They get favours.
Favors.
Yeah, they get a
So
packet
what
of
will you? But see, this is the problem about stand-up. What will you do in return for them?
Oh, I've given them free tickets
Oh,
to stuff.
Okay.
I invite them out
your own shows.
to the pub. No, if they want to go see somebody else, say, I want to go and see Shane Tyler. I'll ring Shane.
Okay.
Shane doesn't pick up.
Yeah.
No,
Well, I have experience with that.
But you know what I mean. You know,
Yeah.
you know that type of thing. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Do you ever get yourself into a position in comedy where somebody comes to you and just going off, someone comes to you and go, Andrew, I tried to get tickets there for Michael McIntyre. Would you know anyone that could get me tickets? And I'm like, first of all, I don't know Michael McIntyre, right? So that's not a thing, right? But I am represented by the same agency. But you ever be like, hey man, I'll sort that. And then you ring up and they go, no. And you have to go back and go, I can't help you at all. And you feel like such a fucking idiot. Like, do you ever like get people coming up to you in comedy, be like, here, Emma, do you know that so-and-so, Joanne or Deirdre, whoever? Is there any chance you could get them to do a video for me? Do you ever get requests like that?
Yes, I've gotten asked for Joanne McNally's phone number more times than I care to admit.
Would you believe I have her number in my phone anyway?
Yeah, well, people would ask me for it, and it'd be like a radio station.
You're like, why? So a radio station is asking?
Yeah, but they'd be like wanting to do like a thing with her, asking her like, what's her favourite fillings in a chicken fillet roll? I'm like, I don't know if Joanne has the time to do
And
that.
secondly, I am not giving out your phone number.
No.
Because Joanne would be like, why the fuck you give out my phone? That person has that number now.
Yes.
And you never know who they're going to pass that on to.
Exactly.
That's not cool.
So I don't unless
It's a comedian you didn't like, fucking give it away. Like.
Or unless there's a bit of cash.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Well, you give me a job as breakfast host. Yeah, sure. Here, John Bishop's number. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you get stuff like that. Do you know what? Chris Kent brought up something on the podcast recently. He tells me, now that Chris's profile's gone up and thoroughly deserved, he's doing great. He says, people come up to me, Chris, and go, oh my God, my brother loves you. Is there any chance I can get a picture with you? And I'd be like, if your brother loves me, I'll wait till I meet your brother then.
Yeah.
Do you get that?
Yes, you get like, it's the other person. And I get husbands saying that their wives love me.
Yeah.
And I have to do a picture with the husband.
Mad, isn't it? It's
Mad, isn't it? Yeah.
No, but I didn't mean that, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, people, or, do you know what the worst one is? So Chris probably doesn't get this anymore now. He's gone above. But I get this often where I'm stopped by 2 women and one of them knows me and one of them doesn't.
Oh.
And I have to stand there while one of them explains to the other one, you do know her. You do. She does the videos. And the friend's just like blank.
No. Yeah.
And you're just standing there and you're like, should I chime in? Should I?
Yeah. Should I have to sell myself here for recognition on the street when I'm going around my personal business? It's crazy,
That's
isn't
bad.
it? Do you get it a lot though? You must do, because like I mean
Depends.
like I know, so especially down in Cork, like my sister now would be a big fan of yours.
Oh, nice.
Right? She'd be like, oh, I really like that Emma Doran, and I was like, yeah, Emma's great, you know. And then I'd say something really nice about you, and then if she sold out Vicar Street, I'd be like, yeah, but does she? Can she MC though? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And I'm on one, lads. I've had a fucking wild day today.
The
haven't
energy,
I?
I'm loving it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm feeding off it.
Can she MC the Comedy Store?
We don't know.
But would I like to sell out Vicar Street? Of course I fucking would.
And the late.
Or
That's your next
twice you've been on it. They won't
Twice.
even let me in the building.
No, you'll be on it this year.
No.
I think.
But do you get, like, when you know, certain things do well for you when you put your stuff out online, and do you ever like go and do you ever notice, like, I don't know, maybe it's different for women, but like, I mean, I don't get recognised that much or anything like that, but do you feel there's a stare? Do you feel there's a look?
I'm not aware of it, but if I'm out with Shane, my partner, he twigs it. But I'd rather not twig it because then I find it real awkward. Sometimes I have people, they'll wave at me or they'll say hello in a very friendly way and I'll wave back and I'll kind of say, oh, don't know who that was.
Yeah.
And then they'll message me later saying, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I said hello to you like as if I knew you.
Yeah.
You know.
But you think people
That's nice.
do know you though? because of the stuff you do
yeah.
with your family and the videos and the kids and your podcast with your daughter and stuff,
Yeah.
that they actually feel they have a window into your life.
It's nice though, because if you think about it, like some people have been following you for years. For years. Like some people, right, started following you a couple of months ago, whatever. But some people have followed you like since, I used to do like videos on Facebook.
Yeah.
I mean, I rarely use Facebook now.
Yeah.
It's still going, isn't it? But it's nice. I'd notice it more on nights out when people have had a few drinks. Then you get a bit of it.
Get a bit stary and coming over. Do they
Pictures.
Yeah, stuff like that. I had an incident one night when I was out and this guy came up to me and he went, you're that guy, aren't you? And I went, no. And he went, no, you are. You're the comedian guy. And I went, no, man, I work in corporate finance. Just walked away. Because he was with his mates and they didn't know anything about me. And I just went, like, this is too awkward.
It's awkward,
So I just said, I work in corporate finance. See you later, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's awkward.
I
It's
don't
like,
blame you for
what
that.
have I done? I don't save a fucking child. Like, I'm not a fucking hero. I'm just a guy that does daft stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I
But
know.
but it's kind of weird because I follow certain people
Yes.
that I have no idea. I've never met them, but I'm so invested
Yeah,
in
I've
their
done
life.
it
And
as
it's
well.
like, I feel like I am that person to other people as well.
I've done it to, Baz Ashwami,
Or was that the Provo guy?
TV presenter. He's done like...
When I
he
say
did
Provo guy, he goes, hello, Provos, poor people. He does the poor people videos. You're
he
so
d-
poor. Is that him?
No, he did...
Oh, the curly-haired guy, and he's been on Tommy Tiernan, and he does sitcom, and he does a bit of TV presenting
Yeah,
and
How
all
to
that.
Kill Your Mammy. He did that show
Yes, sorry, I got
on
completely
Sky.
confused with a guy over in England. My apologies.
So I think he lives near enough to me, but one day I was going to Tesco and I was like bad hungover. And I saw him and my brain got skewed and I thought that I knew him. And I was like, hi, Baz. And he's like, hey, how are you? And I was like, I'm good. How are you? It's great to see you. And then I walked away and I was like, oh, I've never met him.
And did he know who you were?
No, but he professional. He was just playing along with me because he obviously gets it all the time.
Yeah.
So he was like, how are you? And I was like, great to see you. Never met him. Never
And
met
you've never
him.
seen him since?
No.
Awkward. That's going to be so awkward. Imagine you're going to be on like the Late Late Show in like a year. You're going to be in bad. Do you remember me, the woman from the shopping aisle?
Oh, I was so like, I was emotional. I was that, when you're that hungover.
Were you in your pajamas as well?
Like not far off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like say I was buying milk and bread and that I was building up to it all day. I was like, I'm going to go and get the milk and bread. Honestly, I will go and do this thing, this one task I have to do today.
You're in survival mode.
Yeah.
Who's the most famous person you've met?
Ooh, Colin Farrell? Would that-
Really?
Yeah.
Where did you meet him?
No, I met him when I was a teenager, right? He was filming Intermission.
Okay.
In
Was this during his rock and roll era?
This is just before that, when he was like wearing the face off Britney and turning up to all the interviews with like a bottle of beer in his hand and smoking.
Bad boy.
Bad boy. So this was just pre that. He was in Ballykiss Angel when I was a teenager. And me and my friend Alva Mooney in school, we went in and announced it. Like, everyone listen up. There is a ride in Ballykiss Angel and he's Irish. And we were like, everyone was like, no way. Fuck off. We're like, yes, he's a ride and he's Irish. So we had done our research on Colin Farrell. So then I am up in my Farnham Shopping Centre and I'm getting my exam papers. I'm in sixth year, I'm doing my Leaving Cert, and you have to, the practice exam papers. And who do I see but Colin Farrell? And I was like, oh my God, Colin Farrell. And I got him on the phone to my friend Laura, because you weren't doing selfies back then or anything, you know what I mean? And she thought it was a joke. So she told him to like fuck off on the phone. And then the rumour started to spread through the area that no, Colin Farrell was filming in the area. But then, anyway, this is why I have a special connection with Colin Farrell. Turns out I was pregnant at the time. Yeah. And Colin Farrell had a son 9 months later. So if Colin Farrell isn't the father of my child...
Get on live line for that. Bring in Joe Duffy. Joe! I have a 21-year-old. Colin.
It's just there's too many coincidences.
He passed the semen through his eyes. Straight into me. I failed to leave him because of that bastard. I'm the reason he gave up the drink.
Yeah, you see, it's all starting to make sense, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
makes sense.
mad. I love how you the tenderness link Colin Farrell being the dad.
Yes, we had a
I met
chance together.
Colleen Rooney.
That's good.
Now, from a distance.
Oh, so
I said hello to her from a distance.
Did she
So
acknowledge your
listen,
hello?
No. Yeah, she kind
But
of...
then you see, she has to acknowledge it.
To me, that's still a meet.
Is it?
That's still... We were... let's say I was close enough that I could have logged into her Wi-Fi.
Okay, but if
On her
I
phone.
could go and stand at the Hollywood sign and just throw out a few waves, that doesn't mean that I've actually met the people that are living in Hollywood. She would have had to have acknowledged your hello for it to be a
She
meeting.
kind of looked away.
In disgust.
Sort of like... I think this is what she did. I went, all right? And she just went...
So she's...
And I think
Okay.
she just went, oh, who's that lovely man? Who's that lovely man? I don't want to look because I don't want to cheat on Wayne.
Yes.
That's what I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. That's what you would do.
So when I started out in comedy, I was in Manchester. A friend of mine, Ben, had a deli in Didsbury called Time Out Deli. I thought for a year, I thought it was called Time Me Out. It's actually called Time Out. You know, time, food time, right? The green time, right?
Which now?
And I was the delivery man. I used to deliver the sandwiches for him. So I used to go down at 11 o'clock. And I'd work from 11 to half one, and I'd drive the van and I'd deliver sandwiches to local businesses who were having business lunches.
Yeah.
And one particular day they said to me, will you go over and deliver this in a studio? And I went, grand. So I walked in anyway, and there was Colleen Rooney doing a massive photo shoot for fucking Prada or something. There must have been 100 staff, and she's in the middle with these bags and all this. This was like Wayne Rooney was still playing for Man United.
Okay,
it was probably
Heat magazine. I don't think it was Prada.
Of something.
Yeah.
Fucking
Heat
big.
magazine, yeah.
Or whatever, Heat magazine. But she was in a gown and it was handbags. It was definitely handbags because there was an array of handbags. Like,
Oh,
she was probably
interesting.
doing a photo. She was changing clothes a lot. Right. She was different clothes suited different bags. It's definitely handbags. I'm convinced, or unless she brought a lot of handbags herself. I don't know, but it was definitely handbags. And I walked in with a white coat on, and I had the hairnet, and I was like, sandwiches. Oh, Jesus, Colleen, right? And I just went, oh yeah, and I'd interrupted the photography session, and she just went, and then they went over there. And I just put it down and I walked out.
Okay, well then, I mean, now that I know the full story, it feels like you...
I feel as because 9 months later, I had a baby.
Right.
And I think she was the mother of the baby.
And do you think that when she looked away, that was the moment she was impregnated?
I impregnated her
conception,
with
moment.
my eyes. I went, the cork sperms went...
Oh, yeah.
Because cork sperm's lethal.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Roy Keane's got 5 kids.
Okay, so it's powerful stuff.
Powerful stuff.
Yeah.
This podcast is gone off on a fucking track that I'm buzzing with. Anyway.
You've had a buzzy day though, so that's good.
What did we do today, Emma? So tell us what happened yesterday. You came up yesterday. Because there's a reason why Emma's here. We want everyone who's watching this to go and watch her at the Limelight, okay?
Yes.
While she's up doing gigs, to promote her tour. We got her... She did the Empire last night. Did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it, yeah.
First Empire after Paddy's Day.
Yes, and there was a big crowd, wasn't there? I actually only thought about that then when I was driving up. I was like, oh, we've just had a bank holiday.
Yeah.
You think, oh, this isn't a good time to be doing a gig, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and Lavery's will be rammed tonight, sold out, I think.
I've never done Lavery, so
you're going to have a great time. And you did the radio this morning with me.
Yes.
And all that kind of stuff. Now, it's all well and good. We can sit here and we can talk about comedy.
Yes.
But I want to ask you a couple of deeper questions.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
What scares Emma Doran in life? Now, not spiders.
Okay.
I'm not talking about, I get scared, of me kids. But what's your anxiety away, your deep anxiety? Like, what's something that bugs you away from stage that we may not know about? What scares you? Like, I'll give you an example that scares me. So I would have a big complex with my weight.
Okay,
right?
yes.
So I would be very anxious about going to the gym and the older I get, I know the slower it is. It would really worry me that I don't want to get big. There's a reason for that is because I don't want to be, I suppose, sort of like overweight because I would have had a bit of trauma with somebody who would have been an overweight person.
Okay.
And if I become overweight, I feel like I'm morphing into them. Do you see what I'm saying? So what kind of scares you about life?
Oh, that's not comedy related.
Yeah, like what
That's
do you
not
worry about? Do you
career.
worry about the kids? Do you worry about money? Do you worry about your relationship? Like what? Like where the fuck is all this going? Like the security? Like what is it that makes you worry?
I think you probably money.
Money's your biggest worry.
Money, but it's one of these ones where it doesn't actually make any sense because I've never been bad with money. I've always stayed within the confines of what money I've had.
You're living within your means.
Yeah, I've always managed, but I have money. I feel like
You have money, do you?
I feel like I have to get enough money for like my great grandchildren or something. I don't know where this has come from, but like.
But do you think that comes from a self-employed place?
Yes.
The mentality of the comedian. Work,
yes.
work.
Take
everything. Everything.
Yeah. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I go, like worried.
Really?
Yeah.
Does it panic you that much?
Yeah. I don't know why it does.
But have you been, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you now, but have you been in a worse financial situation you are today with the 3 kids?
100%.
What's the worst that happened there? There you go.
I know. That's what I mean. I know logically it doesn't make sense. But like, I'm not worried about my relationship. We have the house, not worried about the kids there. You know, there's no one causing me anxiety. But I'd say any of my anxiety is to do with myself. So I think I learned early on that you can't control other people and you can't get fixated on that stuff. But maybe it's a thing of maybe I'm having anxiety about reaching my potential or something like that.
Do you feel sometimes you're a bit overwhelmed with it? Or do you feel underwhelmed with it?
Yeah, well, actually, my mum said something to me interesting there a few months ago. We were having a conversation about something, and she said, "Oh, you're probably stressed." And I was like, "How dare you?" To me, like, stress is a dirty word.
Filth.
Like that I could, yeah.
Fucking filth, lads.
Disgusting word.
Muck.
And I was like, "I'm not stressed." And she was like, "Yeah, but when you're stressed, you usually don't realise that you're stressed most of the time." Like during lockdown, my hair was falling out.
Why?
Stress.
What was bringing on the stress? The COVID or the worry about work?
Work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clumps.
Yeah, my mum.
Clumps.
When my mum was dying of cancer, I lost her because of the stress.
But that's the most stressful thing you could ever go through.
COVID wasn't stressed. I genuinely was the least stressed in COVID than I'd ever been in my life because I was like, well, I've just lost my mum and I've lost my job, broke up with my girlfriend. I can't go any lower. And if I'm still functioning, I was getting a bit of money, off the government to kind of just
keep you
tip
ticking
you away.
over.
And I went, well, I've lost everything. So the only way I can go now is up. And look, I'm still getting out of bed. I'm still going for a walk. So if this is the worst it's going to be, in terms of things happening around me that I can't control.
Totally.
Do you ever worry about stuff you can control that you fuck up in? Like for example, do you ever worry about like your health, or do you ever kind of think to yourself, I'm fucking, you were talking this morning on the radio, like, oh, I'm 40 soon now. Like, does that panic you?
40 doesn't, because I feel like I'm with the right person. I have like my kids. I tell you what does worry me sometimes is friendships, because I feel like maybe as comedians you don't make, I don't know about you, but I feel like I probably wouldn't make enough time for friendships.
Yeah. So
there's been lots of like dinners, birthdays, parties where I'm like, oh, I'm gigging. And sometimes I will worry about that I haven't been
a good friend.
I haven't been a good friend.
Yeah, but also you got to understand is a really, really good friend of yours will understand what you're doing. And back it. And then they will say, look, I know you're working Thursday, Friday, Saturday night and you're busy with the kids in the day, and then at night you're going out. You also have to make time for your kids and time for your partner.
Yes.
And time for your mum and dad or your family, whatever, and then your friends, whatever. As you get older, that priority kind of comes down. But what I find really difficult is making friends over 40. Because most people's friendships groups, they're set up.
Yes.
Do you see what I mean? Do you worry about that?
Making friends over 40?
Because I consider you a friend, but you're only somebody I might see twice a year.
Yes, I know what you mean.
We're what's known as comedian friends.
Yes, of course. It's colleagues.
We're colleagues.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I do know what you're saying. No, I'm not worried about making friends. Are you looking to make friends? What's going on?
Oh, I've a friend. I'm fine.
Yeah.
I have one friend. But I also did a cleanse years ago. Did you ever hear about this thing? The cleanse, how to find out if somebody's your friend or not.
Oh,
right, so everybody do this. It can be quite scary. Like,
this is why I gravitated towards you. The fucking drama of it all. Do you know what I mean? I'm outside. My girlfriend's left me.
I got rid of the friends.
Yeah. I got rid of the friends. I know it's a drama queen, Andrew.
Sean will back you up, Sean. Sean, aren't I very calm?
Oh yeah, it's very chilled out, man.
Nobody likes a bit of drama.
I don't. Do you know what I love? Gossip.
Yes, I think that's what it is. Yeah, you love gossip.
Oh, every time I see like a bit of gossip, I'm like, go on, tell me, who said what in the green room? He did not, did he?
Yeah.
And then when someone says, did you hear about that? Didn't hear about that at all.
Oh, I love gossip.
The chats before these cameras start rolling. just pure
Oh,
libelous.
my
Yeah,
career
yeah.
will be over. Like
Yes.
the shit I've said.
Oh, I've got WhatsApp audios that need to be deleted pronto. Pronto.
Here's a little tip. If you're kind of going through life, right, and I
Yes.
noticed, and it's something you could do now as well, and Sean, you could probably do this as well, right? Everybody can do this, right? You go through life, you get into a point in your life, right? You get to a
Yes.
point in your life where you kind of feel that maybe you're making a lot of effort with some people, and you're not
Right.
feeling that effort to come back. So, for example, you're always the one that sends the first message.
Yes.
Hey, how are you? What's the crack? Coffee this week?
Yes.
And they reply, hey, yeah, I'm good. We'll let you know Tuesday. Busy week. Hope you're well. You don't hear from them that week. You see them, they don't come back. Give them the
Yes.
benefit of the doubt. People are busy. Next thing you know, you give them a message again.
Yes.
Hey, how's he getting on? You send them a couple of reels, you know, the usual
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
smiley face. I saw your cousin in the petrol station or whatever that shit was, right? And they'll reply, but then they're not actively coming to you during the quiet period.
Yes.
Okay? So I did
Okay.
this with a couple of people.
Couple.
Couple of people. I noticed it was a couple of people that I was friendly with, and nice people now. I'm not.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not like dissing them or anything like that. But I realised that I was the one doing the messaging.
Right.
People away from comedy
Yes.
that didn't have any kids, that did have free time, and I'd say, "Hey man, how are you?
Yeah.
Want to meet up, play a bit of golf, or do you want to go for a pint? Let us know. Hope all is good," kind of thing.
Yeah.
They'd reply, and then I realised, well, I'll give this a week. They didn't message again, but then I'd message because you'd have a bit of low self-esteem and you'd overcompensate and you'd want to
Yes.
have friends because you want to feel needed and wanted, and you're a comedian and you're needy as fuck, and if you don't get the attention you crumble and you become narcissistic and then you threaten your family members. Not saying that's from me.
Yeah. Just in.
I've heard.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've heard
In
from other
general.
comedians, right?
Yeah. Your hair falls out. Yeah.
I did that with 3 people, and to this day I've still never heard from them.
So you messaged them to meet up. You
They-
followed up.
They replied saying they were busy, messaged them again.
Okay.
And then, but then I realised that previous friendship for that 5 years was always based actually just on me reaching out. And
So-
if do you see my point? They
Oh, no, I do,
They were
yeah.
never interested in how I was doing
Yes.
or where I was or what I was up to or, hey man, I'd love to catch up with you. It was always me, hey, I'd love to catch up with you.
Yes.
And then that's why 3 of them, the
Okay.
3 people I thought that I was the one that was doing it, that I was making the effort, I just stopped messaging them, never heard from them again.
But so what would you do if one of them messaged you now?
I'd be so polite to them, but I wouldn't probably make that much of an effort.
Would you meet up with them?
Wouldn't go to my way to, no.
I see. This is fascinating now because I didn't realize that this happened with fellas. I just
Yeah.
thought fellas were much more easy breezy about.
And I've noticed people
friendships.
only contact me when they want something.
Oh.
That's
The way you pointed at me there now was very teacher. I thought you were going to get out a notebook and you were going to go through
You don't
our.
you fucking mess with the fuck. I've blocked you. You don't know it, but I fucking
Well, I
blocked
can
you.
tell you something. I'm going to make sure to fucking text you now next week. Thanks for having me on, Andrew. Great time.
But I did all this
Fucking hell.
in my late 20s.
Okay, yeah, good-
Do you know what I
good time to
Good
do
time
it,
to do it. I
yeah.
was like, let's just figure out. I felt like, I was the one that was always chasing the friendship rather
Yeah.
than getting a 50-50 friendship.
Yes.
And then I haven't seen those people ever since.
Okay, so
And
it
I
was meant
kind
to
of, yeah,
happen.
but it also, I think is a good thing for people to do, to figure
Yeah,
out,
well, it
are
fast-
the other
it-
people
yeah.
interested?
Do you know what that saved you? It probably saved you around 250 quid because if you hadn't done that, you could have gotten stuck with going to these weddings of these
Yeah.
people.
One of them got married, didn't even get an invite, didn't even know they were engaged, saw the pictures. But yet we were inseparable for like week in, week out.
For how long?
We used to work together well before comedy. Like,
Yeah.
unbelievable. Couldn't believe it. And then one of them reached out many years ago and said, have you got any tickets to a gig? And I went, go fuck yourself.
Did you say?
No, I didn't say
In
that.
a polite
I
way.
just ignored it. Left them on red.
Left them on red. Yeah, yeah.
Leave them on red. I'll fucking leave you on red, you fucking cunt.
Are you writing them now or what are you doing there? What's going on
Just getting
there?
excited when you leave someone on red and you go, that's been left on red.
Yes.
And you're going to spend the rest of your life fucking wondering. Do you ever do that?
Have you got a list of people?
Yeah, don't say it.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it.
But I'm not
No, I get what
spiteful,
you say. Yeah.
it gives me a big realization.
What's
you
that?
know, after what you said there, I have realized that Mo Salah may or not be my friend.
Because he's not messaging
He's not
back.
messaging me back.
Plays for Liverpool.
Text every week.
Okay.
No,
But
no.
he is
busy,
busy
like,
though.
yeah.
He is busy.
I
Sean,
suppose.
he is busy.
Yeah, I'd say wait.
Give him another few texts. Mo,
No,
come,
he's
come
been
hang
injured.
out.
Yeah.
He's been injured. He's not been in the right headspace.
Yeah.
That's probably what it
That's
is.
probably
It's the headspace. Yeah.
Just keep playing along. Do you know what I mean, Sean? And Sean's having a baby. Would you believe that?
He's having a baby.
With that mentality.
See here on the ground. What's going on? With a
Good man,
person.
Sean. And Sean, Christmas is
An
coming.
imaginary friend this time.
You're very excited about Santa this year, are you,
Yes.
Sean?
Yes. Go watch the toy show.
Oh, Emma, have you been on a toy show?
No, I would now. That would have been.
You've been on the Late
dream.
Late Show twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm glad that you don't have an issue with that.
No, I don't. Why would I have an issue with that? Why would I have you got the contact number for the booker? Right.
I'll give it to you.
I'd love to go on it. If I went on the Late Late Show, I would go on to try and make an impact. That it would go so bad that everyone would talk about it. Remember when Tommy Tiernan went on the first time and people
Yes.
turned up outside RT and they complained? I would go on, and if Patrick Healy turned around to me and he'd say something like, "So Andrew, you're from Cork and you're living up in the north," and I go, "No, I live in Portugal, mate." "You're a comedian?" "No, I'm a welder."
Yeah.
You know, like I just come but obviously it's not live anymore.
Well, not as much of it is. When I was on, the bit I did with Patrick Hilty was live, but he does more pre-recorded segments. I think before a pre-recorded segment would have been quite unusual.
Right.
But now I don't know, could it change? But he seems to do more pre-recorded bits.
Does he? And
Yeah.
So you've been on it with Tubbs, Brian
Yes.
Tuberty. First of all, obviously somebody who's done a bit of work for RT and you've done a lot of things. How did you, when you broke to see the RT scandal and stuff like that and things happening with Ryan Tuberty, and you obviously met him a few times.
Yes.
He comes across as a lovely fella.
Yeah, really nice
Always
fella.
nice. Always
Yes.
good. Always good. Always interested. The kind of guy that would message you after a week. To see
But
how you were.
he would message you. Yeah.
Has he messaged you?
Yes, he has.
Has he?
Yes, he has actually.
What, after the Late Late Show?
After the late, yeah.
What did he say? Do you know what my salary is?
I can't remember what he said, but no, he's really nice.
Have you seen me sandals?
Where we flip flops?
Where we flip flops?
No, do you know when I saw that? Oh, I think so. I've done a sketch show
Yeah.
that was on RTE, but a production company, made it for RTE.
And I know what you mean.
And so apps like shoestring wouldn't cover it, honestly. I wouldn't say how much I got paid because everyone else got paid the same. So they mightn't want people to know.
Would they try and get you to cover your own Uber or something? That kind of shoestring.
I would bring
your own makeup.
my own makeup most of the time and my own wardrobe. Like I'd bring outfit options and then they said, "Oh, could you bring things that would suit this, that and the other?" And I was like, fine. My clothes ended up on other people. I'd never had that. I'd had wearing my own clothes in telly bits, but that my clothes were actually getting put on other people. I was like, that's new on me. So but we were all delighted to make it and get the opportunity, and that's what we wanted to do, and we were grateful for it, and still are. But when I saw all that, it just, I think the problem is, it's an institution that there's obviously a certain kind of an ethos has developed in there, but there's a lot of people that must be working in that place that kind of go, this place. But it's well, somebody has to be in charge of that. This is the ethos in the place. But the amounts of money were just scandalous.
When you watched it, what did you think? As somebody who's been on the Late Late Show, worked right, and seen all these things happening, you must be like, this isn't what I would. You must have been like, what the fuck is going on behind those scenes?
Yeah. Oh, what the fuck? And not that you would expect it because you're going on to promote yourself, but even as a guest on the Late Late, you're not getting paid.
Did it pick you up?
They get you a taxi, but you're not because say people might say to your neighbours, going, "Oh, you must be doing well for yourself now. You must be rolling." People would have thought that you got paid because people would always connect RT with money, so they think money must be given to everything. I'm still trying to figure out.
Do they think they look at it as you should be delighted you're here, kind of thing?
When you go on the Late Late,
it's you're lucky you're here. You should be thanking us for putting you on. Is it that way?
No, there's not that kind of atmosphere at all. And when I did the Late Late, when Ryan was there, everyone, the whole team, everyone, because obviously there's a whole production. Everyone is mad about him and everyone got on with him really well and they're really good atmosphere. There's not a weird atmosphere. I've been in there since and done radio bits and stuff, and for a little while after, the atmosphere was you could feel it in the air.
Because they're getting it from all angles, aren't they?
Yeah, and then if you're kind of someone who's in their 30s has a regular enough job in there, you're kind of feeling like, oh, Jesus. But I couldn't believe that the salary that Oliver Callan got for replacing Ryan Tubridy on that show, that radio show.
Is that higher than what his one was?
Oh, it was, I think, was it 150 grand?
For an hour a day?
Yeah, like
5
it's still a
visits.
huge amount of money.
Not enough.
But like,
Not
what
enough.
you wouldn't get that on a national radio station,
I
would
get
you?
it on cue.
Do you get on a queue
Yeah, I get it on cue.
for each hour?
No, I get every time I breathe, I get $1,000.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So that's why you do the big. Just to clock another one.
That's a beat of paid.
It was crazy watching it though. Like,
So
I
did
watched
you
it.
notice a different atmosphere from your first time on the Late Late to the second time on your Late Late?
Yes.
What was the change?
The change was, so say, when I did it with Ryan, he'd been there for over a decade.
Settled team.
Settled team. Everyone knew where they stood. You know, the machine ran. And then when I went in the second time, the atmosphere was definitely different. Because I suppose they didn't know Patrick Hilty. I'm just like, I'm guessing now. You know, like if you've had like, not that the presenter of that show is the boss, but when you've had somebody who you've worked with or alongside for, it was over 10 years, wasn't it?
14 years, was it?
14 years. And then somebody new comes in and you don't know them at all. It does change the
Jury's
atmosphere.
out for a while, isn't it?
People are, because everyone thought that it was
Your
going
man
to be...
telling me to move that camera there, go fuck yourself.
Everyone thought it was going to be somebody they knew.
Like
So
they
not
talk
a
like
bad
they talk like a
atmosphere,
Miriam O'Callaghan or something like that, you know?
Everyone said, "Oh, definitely, it's going to have to be a woman. It's going to have to be." I wouldn't have bet that it would have been Patrick.
But most
Hilty.
of the women said no to it, didn't they? All the ones that were tipped for, like Miriam O'Callaghan said no, Claire Byrne said no. They actually came out and said, like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, but I mean, you wouldn't know. Sometimes that's said after, like,
They've been
wouldn't
told
you?
no.
Yeah, isn't that what you do?
Yeah, it's like going, Andrew, you've not won the Edinburgh Comedy Award. We've released a statement. I'm not here for it. I didn't come here for it. I came here to develop the show.
Yeah. I didn't want that.
I didn't want it. Why would I have entered that?
That's what I'm
It's like
doing.
going to the World Cup and then you get to the final and you lose on penalties and you go, well, listen, we were only here for the journey. We weren't here for the
You were offered the win, we turned it down.
Yeah.
Listen, I came here and I got Avios points through the hotel. Like, so I'm quite happy just to have fucking stayed.
I can't see on the journey.
I have a newborn at home, delighted for 6 weeks away.
But I would say bad atmosphere, but just different. And you see, obviously as well, they'd had the summer of the whole scandal.
So the team didn't know whether they were coming or going, really.
No, the whole place, the atmosphere in the whole place was different.
And they knew that with a new presenter, that show was going to be under so much more scrutiny
Yes.
in terms of, can it survive? Is it a dead format? You
Yes.
know, RT is stuck in the ages. But one thing I do like about Patrick, and I've seen quite a few of them, is first of all, I think he's a fresh voice in terms of somebody
Yeah.
new on RT. And I also think there's a lot of really new talent he's put on, because under
Yeah.
Tubridy, as much as I really enjoyed it, you'd always kind of knew like the type of person that will come on. Like how do you get onto it? How do you get onto?
I knew this is where this conversation.
How do you?
Oh yeah, what was the
how do you get
atmosphere
onto
like
the-
there, lad? How do you get on?
How? Does some,
Is that you?
It's
Okay.
late. 1 second.
Yeah. Answer it.
1 second. Hello. Hello. Hello.
How are you?
Where are you calling me from?
From Vodafone Upgrade Department.
Vodafone Upgrade Department.
Yeah, it's still showing in my system that your account is eligible or in upgrade with the latest mobile phone.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah,
Like iPhone.
I'll have all the phones. Oh, she hung up. Apparently, my demands were too much. I'm very sorry that phone rang there. But the Vodafone, by the way, I'm not with Vodafone. They said my account says I'm due an upgrade, and I said I'll have all the phones, and then they hung up. Get out of the fire if you can't stand the heat. Anyway,
So you want to know how to get
How
on?
to get on- how do you
we were
get
trying
onto
to
the
pretend
Late
that
Late Show?
we were talking about what's it like with the new presenter and all. But now the real question, we've gotten to it. How
do
to
you get on it?
Just ask them.
Is that what you did?
Yeah.
So
I
what
didn't
did you-
ask them, but I
what-
just
like,
said.
how do you ask them? Like,
I just said to my agent, I said, I want to get on that. I'll give you the researcher's email. You can
Are you
email me.
serious?
Yeah. Why
But
wouldn't you?
Andrew, if they don't get back to you the third time, maybe they're not your real friend, so you just need to let them go.
So how? Like, can I ask you a question? Your agent sent an email in and said,
Yes.
I represent Emma Doran. She's a comedian. Here's
I
a link to all her
assume.
stuff.
I assume.
It's an opportunity for her to come onto the Late Late Show, obviously a new talent or whatever it is. And then
Don't say it dismissively.
no, like a new talent, whatever it is, you know, like whatever the way you pitched
The
you,
spin,
like,
yeah,
the spin, like. And then from that email to when you sat on that sofa, what's the time frame?
6 weeks, maybe.
Unbelievable.
2 months, maybe.
I'm going for it.
Go for
Right,
it.
if you're watching this,
The stars are aligning for you today.
if you're watching this and you're listening to this, I'm going to try and get onto the Late Late Show
I
between
would
now
love
and the
to
next
see
3 or
it.
4 months.
I would love to.
I
see
might
the
even
Late
like
Late.
drive down and, you know, do a sign outside, like,
What would you wear? Would you have the suit?
oh, I don't know. Listen, Emma, I can't think that far ahead yet. I have to get into the building first. I have to get
Do
on
you know
it.
what I'd love about when you know the person on the Late Late? If you know them personally,
Yeah.
you know the nervous energy.
Oh, right, yeah.
Do you know, like it's like you're watching it like a different way.
I'll be rocking, and you'll be like,
Yeah.
no, that's just Andrew. I'd be like, how are you? Bastard?
People thought I was pissed when I went on.
Do you think so? Did you
No,
get,
not that I think so. That's what people said about me online. She's pissed. But I wasn't pissed.
you weren't pissed?
No, I hadn't had a drop of alcohol.
What, were you nervous or something?
No,
Were you
no.
just yourself? And
I was
people
just
thought you
like, it's Friday night telly. I'm going to go out like and
have a bit of crack with
have
it.
a bit of crack and a bit of messing and whatever. And people were like, she's pissed.
And how did you take that?
I didn't watch it all, but I saw the clip. It's not like I didn't look pissed or whatever. I think it was just because the way I was kind of like, you know, high energy.
And did he set you up well?
Yes.
He's a bit guilty with that, I'd say, I imagine, because he's a comic.
He's going to have his bits as well.
Yeah, he's going to know like when to bring you in. Do you find a big difference, obviously, in the energy between Tubridy and Keelty? What did you notice? Like, did you notice like, oh, Tubridy makes it really hard, easy, soft, relaxed for you? Patrick makes it more encouraging. Like, was there anything like that? Like, did you feel? Like, I'm not trying to get you to pitch them against each other, but were they both good experiences in different ways? Like, what was
like I'd say Ryan's energy is more. Well, and this is just me personally. He's more dad energy.
Dad energy.
Yeah.
She's looking after you.
Yes.
So he's a bit like, here, I look after you, and then afterwards tell your mother I still love her. Like,
Yeah.
kind of
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
like.
It's very, yeah.
You know, that
that's
kind of thing.
exactly
Like,
what
just
it
kind of
is.
like, listen, we look
Yeah.
after you tonight now.
We kind of started thinking he was my dad towards the end of the night.
Yeah. Did you ever meet him in a supermarket or in Easton's when you were getting your leaving cert stuff, and you look at him, and then 9 months later you have a baby?
I didn't have it with him.
And then have a
Only
Tubridy.
Colin
Can you
has that
imagine ringing him
power.
and going, Ryan Tubridy's the fucking dad. And he goes, how do you know? And he goes, the child was born with a scarf.
A little tweed jacket. Imagine that was why he left. Imagine I had a baby that looked exactly like him. Because when I was on, 2 weeks later he quit. So my family WhatsApp group was like, Emma, you shouldn't have spoken about the silent ride with him. That's why he quit.
The silent, oh yes.
That's the bit I did with him.
The silent ride,
The silent ride, and then he quit his job. They
Oh
were
my
like,
God.
Emma, you've destroyed that man.
Not only did he quit his job, he left the country. He now works for Virgin Radio.
He's in his 50s and he emigrated. Like, that's how bad it
He's
was.
not married, is he? Is he married?
No, he's not married, no.
I like
think he
him.
has like.
I really liked Ryan
long-term-
Tubridy. I really liked the guy.
him.
I really liked him. I think he's a smart guy. I thought he was really good at what he did.
Yeah.
Really good radio presenter.
I really liked him. And at first, I remember when he did the Late Late, everyone's like, ugh. But like, obviously, this is like 14 years ago. I wasn't a fan at first. And then when I saw him do the toy show, then I was like, oh, I like him. Because he was just so giddy and fun.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time on the Late Late, it was quite serious then. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's much, much lighter show than it used
with
to
Patrick
be.
is now, yeah. And they have the
Yeah.
panel of the three now. And
Yeah.
it seems to be like a bit more crack at the start, a bit of music, and then you maybe have a bit of somebody selling something. Then there's a serious bit towards the end kind of
Yes.
thing. Like, it seems to be the format. You can kind of see the format.
Oh, that's the format.
You
They've
know what I mean?
changed it slightly. So it used to be, and I've been told this, like this was the format that you have the sob story at the end because when people are slightly pissed, they're more emotional.
There you go now.
So they put the sob story on at the end.
So you go, what's that? Oh, you were beaten up in the streets, was it? Oh, right. You'll be better when they're drunk. That story works better when they're drunk.
Yeah.
Like, your story's great, but we need people to be drunk for it, for them to connect with you. Because if you go out when they're sober, they'll just get angry. We need, like, imagine turn around to
We need them
somebody
when
who's a
they're
victim
getting
of
sleepy.
serious
Yeah,
crime,
they're getting
or they were
sleepy.
adopted and went into a mother and baby home and they go, listen, great story, but they're not drunk enough for you. That's like a comedian going on stage going, they were too drunk for me. Like, they're like a reverse.
Yeah. That you need them at the point where they're drunk enough and they're just the smallest bit sleepy. They're starting to get cozy. And they're kind of, it's when people are kind of starting to say, throw us that blanket there,
Yeah,
will
like,
you?
roll out the drama, roll out
Yeah,
the
yeah.
trauma. Here
Yeah.
comes the trauma. Here comes the fucking hook.
Yeah, when you're getting snuggy on the couch, when you're kind of settling into the couch for the night.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and then you got to go
Yeah.
and tell us your story. What, your husband died in a plane crash. Let's go to the break, and then the first break is win a trip to Gran Canaria with flights and 2 5-star accommodation worth €700 to enter. Contact rte.ie. Do you know what I mean? Like the fucking drama of it. Like, but is it something that you've done? You kind of like when you come home from the Late Show, and you kind of say something. You kind of sitting in the car, or you going for a drink or something like that. And you kind of say to yourself, "Fair play, Emma. Fair play to me."
Yeah,
Like, do you
totally.
ever do that?
Totally you do.
Who would have thought? You had a baby quite young, and your
Yes.
background and all that, and you've 3 lovely kids, and you've a husband that takes cash. Like, it's all that.
Always.
But like, do you ever like little say to yourself when you're sitting at home in the kitchen in your house, you go, you know what? I'm doing all right.
It's a nice one to get because I think obviously everyone knows it. You know what I mean? My mom has never been on Instagram. She doesn't fully get it.
Yeah.
If I take a picture of her, and like I'm not going to post it online, but when she's like, "Oh God, where's that going now?" I'm like, "There's not that much demand for you out in the garden."
Yeah.
You know, drinking a cup of tea.
Yeah.
It's not what people are craving. Like, and the chances of this going viral, even if I did post it, is highly unlikely. She's
So
like,
they think everything you're doing now is something to do with your work. Like, you know, that kind of thing, like, oh, take a picture. Oh, where's this going? Oh, am I looking? Like, sometimes if I put a picture up of my family, they're like, oh, no, because if you're putting up that Instagram now, I want to go and like,
Yeah.
You know that kind of thing. I'm like going,
Always,
you know
yeah.
what? Like, I really don't think Sharon, who follows me in Glasgow, who is 62,
Of course.
is interested in, your
I know.
fucking
My
fucking
dad loves it
highlights.
though.
Like,
My dad is mad for it because I've had him in sketches before, and he'll ask like, "When do you need me again?"
oh, he's
Have
looking for the
people-
work.
Yeah, he's looking for the work. He's like, "Have people been asking about me?" Because what I made the mistake one time. A woman said, "God, your dad looks great." Didn't think it was your dad or whatever, and
You told him.
I told him.
Oh, the ego.
Ego is off the charts.
And he going down the town then and looking at me trying in the videos, like, that kind of stuff. Like.
Oh, he loves it.
Did you see the sketch? Did you?
Yeah, I'll ask him to be in things, and he wants me to send him the script beforehand so he can have approval. And he'll be like, "Why do I only have one line?" I feel like, what's my character's motivation? All this.
What's my
shit.
character's motivation? Because you didn't even have motivation to bring me up. Now all of a sudden you need motivation in a fucking sketch I've written.
All he's doing, he's basically doing the Colleen Rooney face when she sees you.
Yeah.
Anytime I've had him, it's get, yeah, that's exactly it. That's all I get him to do. And he's like, "What's my backstory?" And I'm like, shut the fuck up.
You were an altar boy that got
insane.
made redundant. Shut up.
He's insane.
Do you find the more you're doing the comedy now and you're doing the videos, are you falling kind of more in love with it? Do you love it more than you've ever loved it? Are you actually excited more about it, or you feel like, look, this is just a job, or does it still excite you?
I think I'm more excited about it than ever before. And that's God's honest truth. Because I did the tour last year. So last year was my first time doing a tour, my own tour. I'd done like 1 hour, I'd done shows, but I hadn't had, you'd be like, "Oh God, is anyone going to come to see me?" So I wouldn't have done tours. So last year was the first tour. And that was basically, I was trying to put together my best bits that I'd done in clubs, really, and, put a show together. Whereas I feel like this year then, I knew from the get-go that I was working towards putting my show together. I knew that it was going to be, this material is my show. So the whole process of it has been much more enjoyable. Does that make sense?
I see what you mean. Yeah.
So before the material I had for the show last year, I didn't know that was going to end up being my show. Whereas this year, that's my main focus now, is getting my material for my show. That's the end goal. So
It's live. It's life. And the videos
Yes.
and stuff are just a thing that go alongside it. But the priority is the material.
Yeah, but I still love doing, like, the thing about the sketches for me, because most of the time I'm filming them on my phone. It would just be like that. I have an idea and I want to film it on my phone straight away. Now, I do ones that have a bit more planning, but there's a nice element to that as well. And there's some things that just work. There's some ideas that work better in sketch. And then obviously there's bits that work better in stand-up or whatever.
Yeah.
But I've always kind of done the both of them. But I've fallen out of love with sketches, but I've never fallen out of love with stand-up, actually, to be honest.
It's always your base, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like sometimes, the sketches, because I would have started doing stuff on Facebook, and the way you're building up Facebook, and then Facebook died.
Yeah.
You spend all that time kind of building that up, and then you're like, oh, what am I going to do? And then, you're focused on Instagram, but Instagram's probably going to...
And then it goes to TikTok, so you have to start over there.
Yeah.
There'll be something else in 2 years.
There'll be something else,
what I mean?
Whereas the stand-up is just the stand-up.
Well, your stand-up is fantastic. I've opened for you before in Dublin. I'm also looking forward to opening for you again in Tala. In
the Civic.
In the Civic in May. Where can people see you? Where can they buy tickets? How can they follow you, Emma? Tell us all.
So my website, emmadorancomedy.com, that's all my ticket links there. And Instagram, Emma Doran Comedian.
Yeah. I'm sure a lot of you people have watched or seen some of Emma's videos. If you've not seen her live, highly recommend it. To go catch her when she comes up to Belfast and anywhere across the island or over in the UK when she goes over and stuff. Do check her out and go see her. She's absolutely brilliant. Very, very funny. And before we finish up today, I just want to say, please do buy tickets to my tour and sign up to my Patreon and do that. That's important now. Okay, but a big thank you to Emma Doran for coming in to the podcast. Go check her out. Go see her live. Buy a ticket. Support her. Okay, she's very good at what she does, and it's great to have her on Cork on our podcast. Thanks everybody. The die-in, Cork 25, bit of dinner. Say nothing. Patreon, £3 a month, bit of extra. All right. See you soon. Thanks. Thanks, Emma.
Thanks.